Hey there, how's it going? Happy Sunday, guys. It's me, Hocus Pocus, back again with another LP episode. This is 166. In fact, it isn't. We're living 11 episodes into the future. Or 10. It's 156 today, right? Yeah, I think last episode was 155, so that makes this one 156. Okay, correction, 156 is today's episode. And if you were not with me for yesterday's live stream, we went out in search of pandas, and you can see we found one right here. Unfortunately, we're looking at a great distance of around, I don't know, 4,000 blocks to get him home. Something I'm not looking forward to, something I'm not going to do in today's episode because it will just take a lot of time. So what I've done is I've screenshotted the coordinates. I'm going to do it again just in case so that we know where this guy is. We'll come back and pick him up. But for today, we're going to head back to the base. So I'll catch you guys there in just a second. Oh, okay then, guys. So we've made it back to base. We are over here at the Panda Sanctuary once again. And it seems as though, or at least I cannot remember seeing him in there, but it seems as though we got another little friend there just above my head. You can see we got a piggo in the enclosure. So that's two guys, unfortunately, we're going to have to slaughter at some point. I'm not looking forward to it, but what has to be done will have to be done, right? This is pandas only. So these guys, they're counting their days. Let's put it that way. Anyway, in this episode, the goal is to begin our railway network that is going to run from the ravine base over there somewhere. It's going to come all the way down and link up to the Panda Sanctuary so that we've got an easy route in and out of the base. Now, we need a kind of station location. That rhymed. That's pretty cool. Station location. And I think the station location is going to be over here somewhere. So I want to be able to access the walkway from down here. So I'm thinking that we just pop a ladder in somewhere. Maybe this would be a good place for it, right? Up this pillar thing here. Then we can just climb to the top and sort of ease our way onto the walkway. But unfortunately, we don't have the materials for that. So we should probably try and gather something up so that we can make a few ladders. All right, so here we go. This is a little bit more like it. So we've got ourselves a crafting bench. We'll take this one piece of wood we've got as well. And we'll just break that down into some sticks. And then what we can do is just craft a few ladders. Now, I'm not sure entirely how many we'll need. Probably 9 is definitely good enough. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And then what we'll do is, as I say, we'll just have ladders that run up the side of this pillar. And that should allow us to kind of just ease our way onto the walkway here. And then we've got free movement across it. So that works for me. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything super special. Of course, this isn't super special at all. Now we need to think about actually digging the railway out of the ravine base, first of all, and then bringing it in this direction so that we can finally link it up just beneath here. So that once we hop off the cart, we can climb up the ladder and we can observe the pandas in their natural man-made juxtaposition habitat. And we also do have a little bit of testing to do because we need to figure out approximately where this tunnel is going to lead if we begin digging upwards, because I don't want to just bust through some random build that we've got above ground here. So if we open the coords, we are moving negatively on the x-axis, so we should probably go outside and just kind of figure out where that's going to lead us above ground. We are on 309 and negative 581. So let's take a look on the overground. Ooh, okay, so this is where things do get a little bit tricky then, because this is 309, 581, and we are on Y66. So down there we were on Y13, so we are up, what, 53 blocks? So if we go forward 53 blocks, so that would be 309 to 362. Okay, no it wouldn't, would it? Because we're going down. We're going down, we're not going up. So it was 303, right? Yes, or 309, 309. So we're going down, what did I say? 53 blocks, right? So down 50 would be 269. Down another 3 would be 266, I believe. So let's go ahead and check that out. Or what? That's not right, is it? No, it'd be 259, 256. 256 is what we're aiming for. Can't do basic maths in my head. That's a shame. Okay, 256 would be somewhere... Yeah, it's going to be somewhere like on the border of the sugarcane farm here. So if we were just to dig straight up, then we would cause drastic changes or we would break something around here. So I don't really want to do that. So we have to be a little bit more smart about how we do this. So I'm thinking that maybe we dig up a few blocks and either come back round on ourselves and exit in this direction. I think that would be a good idea. Or alternatively, we could just head to the right and hope that we exit before or after this small edge here on the wheat field. So I think we should just start digging, and we can make some guesses and approximations on our way up, and just hopefully we don't break through any builds in our world, because that would be kind of tragic at this point. I don't want to have to make any repairs today if possible. All right, so the plan is we are actually on Y14. So I got a little bit confused because when I noted down mentally the Y coordinate, I was sat in the cart here, and it actually puts you down by about 0.3 blocks. So I was thinking 13, but we're actually on 14, which means that it's 52 blocks up that we're gonna head approximately. So I'm gonna say that we go up 26 blocks, which will be the halfway point, or around the halfway point. Then we reverse back on ourselves, do the rest of the 26, and pop up somewhere around the iron farm. I think we should be at that point. So that's going to be the plan. Don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll soon find out, I guess. Anyway, enjoy this time lapse of the tunnel digging, and I'll join back up with you after it's finished. Okay guys, so all things considered, that wasn't a bad place to surface with the rail track, in my opinion. So I'm just going to fill in the center line again here with some gravel, because that will maintain consistency from down below. So as I said, we came up approximately halfway, did a U-turn and headed back on ourselves, and then we progressed the other half of the track and out onto the surface. So once we get to the surface, we'll take a little look around and just make sure that everything is okay, because as you guys saw in the time lapse, I came out at night. It wasn't easy to survey the area just because we had a bit of company out here. So yeah, all in all, this is actually the perfect location, I would say. It's a good distance from the path here, good distance from the wheat field, and a good distance from the iron golem farm over there. So all in all, as I say, this is great. So what I'm thinking of doing is probably bringing the track out in this direction. So let's take the shovel. Kind of want it to go this way a little bit. So we'll maybe do about 5 blocks this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from here, we probably want to head in this direction. Now, do I take it across the wheat field? I was kind of considering actually crossing the track over the wheat field, taking it up the hillside there, down the other side, and then through the forest. I think that might be quite cool. So let's actually progress it towards the wheat field here. So it's going to come and take a right turn here. So what we'll do is we'll have a nice right turn there so that we can have the corner track in, and then we will go down, and we'll probably come to this point here. Okay, so we're going along, going around the corner, heading downwards, and then in this direction. And then at which point do we want to cross the wheat field? I'd probably say quite late into the field, so maybe somewhere around here we could have a crossing. So we'd actually want to, yeah, we'd actually want to take this middle part out and just replace that. Our inventory's full as well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to just get rid of this guy. Don't particularly need any of that stuff, so we'll get rid of it. And then the track will go through that gap there. And that means that once again, we'll have to link it up somehow. So I'm thinking that we just maintain it at this level. And what we might do is just come out here and add an extra bit of grass in just to surround the track, because at some points it does look a bit thin. So we might just do something like this. Maybe have some grass that comes in there like that. And then on the other side, similarly. And then what we'll do on this side as well is just build the grass up here a little bit. So I don't want it to be probably something more like that. And then on the other side, we'll also give it a bit of, yeah, that's better, right? That's better. Just have the track looking a little bit more natural. Then it comes around across the tree. We may even want to move this tree to the side slightly just so that it's not right in line with the track. So we will go ahead and do that as well. We'll just take out the bottom parts and remember to plant it a block or so back. And then we just want to continue with the shovel. And where are we crossing? Just over here. So at this point, it makes another turn, and then we can link up with the part that is going to go through the wheat field there. So I just want this journey to be as scenic as possible, and I think the best way to do that is to actually run the track through some of our builds. That's why I'm going through the wheat field here. I think that's a good choice. So it comes along, takes a left turn into the wheat field, and then from here, the track will probably go downwards and somehow make its way across. So if we do that, how is this going to pan out on the other side? We should probably consider that before we go any further here. On the other side, things are looking a little bit like this. So we've skipped forward a little bit of time, as you guys can probably tell. So the track, it exits the underground here, and it makes its way around the corner, takes another left turn, comes straight through the field, and then at the peak of the wheat field on this plateau at the top here, it does make a slight movement to the right. And then it comes again straight forward, just because I wanted it to cross the path here rather than if it carried on straight forward through the wheat field, it would have collided with the fence here. So I figured that it would be a better idea just to bring it to the side slightly and allow it to pass cleanly through the pathway. And then, of course, it exits through the wall there. And what I've decided to do is take it round the side here. And then, as I say, it's going to come up the side of this hill. And then once we get to, I don't know, maybe around this point here, it's going to take another turn back towards the super smelter, and then we're going to try and rig it behind the super smelter pathway there, I think. So it's going to take a left just before the super smelter, go behind the path through the forest, and then it will link up with this area right here off just before the fog begins. So again, I'll probably take a little bit of time here to carry on working off camera. We have got the pathway almost organized, so we shall continue. So we've progressed a little bit further than where we were. As you saw in the last clip, we kind of have the track coming through the wheat field, and now it breaks through and exits at this point and kind of follows the wall in a strange diagonal pattern here. Not sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll stick to it for now. And then it comes down a little bit, makes a left. Then we progress up into the hill here where the mob farm is, just to our left-hand side there. And then this is where the first issue kind of sets in. So we've got this right turn here that directs us towards the Panda Sanctuary and our super smelter. And then we come down the hill a bit, but we have this huge river in the way. So what I'm thinking is that we have an elevated platform that runs across the river, and it runs over the top of the super smelter as well. And I think we're going to build it just out of these materials. So I'm thinking that maybe we do something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then perhaps we have some sort of wooden pillar in here. Probably, yeah, this is going to be kind of tough working with the half slabs, but we'll get by for now. And then we just want to do that and eradicate this block. And then what I think we're going to do is maybe, you know what, actually we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to go with the jungle wood that has the bark on all 4 sides. And we're going to replace that top block there with the bark block. Okay. And then we're going to strip this block. So this platform that we're going to run the track across, it's going to follow a similar theme to all of the other builds in this area. And more importantly, a similar theme to the bridge over there. So it's going to be a combination of these 3 textures as well as the jungle wood. And then what we'll do is we'll just continue the bridge again. So we'll go another 5 blocks. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then of course, again, here we'll have another one of these guys. But we're also going to need some fence posts because I kind of want these to work as support beams. So maybe we will actually position these a little bit further apart because I kind of want them to. Oh, we can do that. That's good. That's good to know. I kind of want them to actually miss out key points here. I want them to miss the path and I want them to miss the glass. So we might actually have to kind of figure out a spacing design that allows us to do that. So give me just a second here. I'm going to try and figure this out off camera. But this, for the most part, is going to be how it's going to look. And then we will have some fences that run down into the ground along each of these intervals. So each of these will eventually be stripped. And the posts will just run into the ground as if they were support beams almost. Although I know that we don't particularly need them, but I think it will look better that way. Prepare to be amazed as you see the bridge in fully fledged action. So, it's not much, I know, but we can improve upon this. So, of course, I don't want this bridge to remain really skinny and thin like this. It doesn't really do a lot for me. But over time, we'll keep developing it. Pretty much the goal of today's episode is, as I mentioned at the start, to get this track up and running. So we've actually managed to take the track across the river over the super smelter. And I quite like this. Intertwining builds like this always seems to be, I don't know, something that looks quite cool. So I'm not going to complain. Also got the wandering trader there. Once again, though, terrible trades. Really not worth my time. So coming across the bridge, it begins its downward slope right here. And we're going to need to break some leaves to ensure that we've got a path that is clear. It comes back to ground level, runs across this small pond lake type thing here. Up one more step, and again, this tree might have to vacate elsewhere, but we'll leave it for now. And then it finishes right here, but what we want to do is actually just continue the path around and try... I was going to try as best as I could to kind of make it hug the side of the sanctuary here, but that doesn't seem all that necessary since the station isn't going to be at this... Well, it's not going to be right under the walkway, is it? So we can actually have it go through here and up to this level, and then I guess up again, and we'll just take it straight forwards until we kind of line up with where we roughly want to be. So we want to be somewhere over here by the ladder. And you know what, I'm not going to make this definite just yet because we might also want to construct a small building here to house the station in. I say station, quotation marks. It won't be much of a station, but we might have something going. Also, I discovered this cave recently, unexplored, so we should probably check that out at some point. And then it can just continue in this direction. And we can ultimately just have it finish somewhere around here for now. Doesn't really make all that much difference, as I say, because we probably will be expanding on the area that we've got here. And then I'll just fill this all in with gravel. And if you guys give me just a moment off camera, I will in fact go ahead and place down a bunch of tracks as well, so that we've actually got a functioning rail system. And then that means we'll also be able to test this thing out together just before we end the episode here. So I will go away for a few more minutes. Make sure that we've got rails that lead all of the way from the base over to this area. And I'm going to just break these leaves out of the way as well, just so that when we test it, we've got a clean run. And we'll just kind of see if this thing works, because we spent all this time getting it set up. So if it doesn't work, that'll be a little bit tragic at this point. So as I say, guys, give me just a second. I'll be right back. You guys, it is complete. So I'm about to give you a run through of the journey. But before we do that, we've got something that we need to change just behind me there. So now that we've actually implemented our first interchange, or I don't really know what to call it, our first route, I guess, we need to change the sign here, but I just have to remember which one it is. So is it the blue? It is the blue? Nope, it's not the blue, is it? That's wrong. Maybe it's the red? You see, it's been so long, I can't even remember. Yeah, it's the red switch. Okay, the red is the first one. So we're going to break the sign down, of course, and replace it. And what are we going to write here? We're going to write Panda Sanctuary. So anybody who explores this world knows that they can flip this lever, hop in the cart. They may want to actually switch the cart over to this track first. That would make a bit more sense. They can remove their HUD. They can hit the button, and off they go. Quite interesting. Okay, maybe we need to reanalyze the situation here. Alright guys, second time lucky. It's Probably not what they say, but this time we will be lucky, I'm sure. So let's try that again, right? HUD is off, button is clicked, off we go. So guys, how about that then? How about that? I'm pretty impressed. Okay, I'm pretty impressed. I really like that. The journey's quite picturesque as well, going through some of our older builds there in the world. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, because this is the last segment of it. So once again, guys, I had tons of fun recording this one, as I always do. I hope you guys have tons of fun watching it. So you might recognize there's a mix-up at the start. I said happy Sunday, so I mentioned this in the last video as well. There was a bit of a mix-up over the weekend. I had a busy one, so got a bit backtracked and sidetracked and whatever else tracked you can get, and it meant that videos got mixed up here and there, but I guess that's besides the point. At least we got the videos out, right? So either way, I hope you enjoyed this one, as I say. Please remember to subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed this, or if you just haven't subscribed yet and you've been watching a few of the videos, please don't forget to hit the red button down there. Also, hit the like button as well. That would be much appreciated by myself, and any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback should be directed to the comments section down below for further reading by myself, and of course, I will respond to those as well. So if you want a response out of me, do let me know. Anyway, guys, take care. So bye from me, Hocus Pocus. I'll see you in the next one.